Luke chapter 9, verses 28 to 36. Going up to the mountain to pray, Jesus is transfigured before Peter, James, and John. About 8 days after he said this, he took Peter, John, and James, and went up the mountain to pray. While he was praying, his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. And behold, 2 men were conversing with him, Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his exodus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been overcome by sleep, but becoming fully awake, they saw his glory, and the 2 men standing with him. As they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he did not know what he was saying. While he was still speaking, a cloud came and cast a shadow over them, and they became frightened when they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my chosen Son. Listen to him." After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They fell silent and did not at that time tell anyone what they had seen. This is a picture of the front of the Church of Transfiguration, which is located on Mount Tabor in the northern part of present-day Israel. It marks the site where some believe the Transfiguration took place. In Jewish thought, the presence of God is regularly connected with a cloud. It was in the cloud that Moses met God. It was in the cloud that God came to the tabernacle. It was the cloud which filled the temple when it was dedicated after Solomon had built it. It was the dream of the Jews that when the Messiah came, the cloud of God's presence would return to the temple. Any Jew would understand the descent of the cloud as a way of saying that the Messiah had come. The Transfiguration has double implications. First, it did something very valuable for Jesus. He had made the decision to go to Jerusalem, and that was also the decision to face and accept the cross. Obviously, he had to be absolutely certain that the decision was correct before he could go on. On the mountaintop, he received a double confirmation that his human decision was correct. Moses was considered the supreme lawgiver of Israel. God had given him the 10 Commandments. Elijah was the first and the greatest of the prophets. Jews looked on him as a prophet who brought them the very voice of God. When these 2 figures met with Jesus, it meant that the greatest of the lawgivers and the greatest of the prophets said to him, "Go on." It meant that they saw in Jesus the completion of all that they had dreamed of in the past. Jesus was assured that he was on the right path because all history had been leading up to the cross.